Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Minecraft. Well, Bevo's Tech Pack. Bevo's Tech Pack. I like to call it Bevo's. Now, we should probably address the elephant in the room. By elephant, I mean giant freaking trees. Yeah, it turns out that there's multiple different types of rubber saplings, so let's just take a look at them. There's the rubber saplings, which I thought I had in my hand, but these are rubber saplings right here. And you have the sacred rubber saplings. I don't have any of those. And then there's the mega rubber sapling. I had some of those. Can you guess what I did with them? Oh yeah, we planted them, because I am crazy. The other thing is the sacred rubber sapling, which, yeah, I don't know what this actually does. Anyways, yeah. So, they are causing some major lag issues, and I thought it would be really fun to actually, oh my goodness, how many did I plant? I think I had like 5? I think 5. Oh, they're spawning zombies now. That's not cool. Alright, so there's a bunch of different problems with them. Oh, and some ender creepers. That's just fantastic. And I thought I was so careful. So, I think I still have Vein Miner installed. If so, all I have to do is hold an axe, choppy, and no. Darn! I thought it was going to be a big boom. I'm going to have to check some settings on that. Vein Miner should be able to mine these trees out no problem flat, so long as you have an axe. Mr. Zombie is not gonna get me, because I said so. And yeah, so we're gonna move on to another project today. You might notice that I am still a little bit nasally. I am still a little bit sick right now. Yeah, so what we're going to do, as you can see, I got myself a third windmill. The last time I crafted a second one off camera, and I forgot to mention it. I think I cut that part out because I was rambling like crazy. Apparently, when I am sick, I like to ramble. Anyways, I'm going to eat this baked potato. This baked potato is mine. It's so good. Anyways, one of the problems that we're going to have with, you know, these windmills is that they generate energy continuously. And the problem with that is we don't use energy continuously. So we kind of want something to store the energy that they produce in, right? Right? Yeah? Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to use another mod, so we're not going to use anything from Mekanism. Instead, we are going to use our good old trusty pal, Thermal Expansion. We are going to need a redstone conductance coil. We are going to require a leadstone energy frame, crafted like so, with some lead ingots, a block of redstone, 4 glass, and we get ourselves a leadstone energy cell frame. Then we are going to need 3 copper, some invar ingots, and the stuff we just crafted. Afterwards, we get ourselves a hardened energy cell. Wah! There we go. This energy cell is actually really sufficient at storing a large amount of energy, and it can intake a large amount of energy, which is what we are going to need. Don't mind these. They're not, I'm not ready to tell you about them yet. So we already have it set to 400 RF per tick, which is good because that's pretty much what these cables that I have over here. Like I said, don't talk about them. We first rule about cables, you don't talk about cables. Anyways, so here we go. We are getting a lot of energy from these. I've already got one here that's been maxed out already. These things produce a large amount of energy, and it doesn't hurt the fact that we aren't actually using any energy whatsoever right now. So yeah, let's disobey first rule about universal cables, and let's talk about universal cables. So in order to get the basic cable unit, you're going to need something called, where is it? Steel. And in order to get steel using Mekanism, you actually need to throw in an iron ingot into the metallurgic infuser. Oh, yeah, there we go. While you have some carbon in here, you need 1 coal to convert it into, there we go, enriched iron, and then you just put that in again with another piece of coal, and that'll get you the carbon in here. And once that goes through, come on, you got this. There we go. It gives you steel dust. Now, you might have already guessed, the smart ones of you, you guys deserve a cookie. Too bad I can't bake for all of you. Anyways, you go over to those little tiny furnaces over there. They are wee little tiny things over there. And you just smelt this stuff up. I've already done so. So all you have to do then is you just take these steel ingots and put them into this crafting recipe. 2 steel ingots, 1 redstone gets you 8 basic universal cables, which will transfer, as you can see there, 200 RF per tick. 200 RF per tick, isn't that fantastic? But as you can remember, we can accept up to 400 RF per tick. So this wasn't good enough for my energy needs. So I decided to go with advanced universal cables. How to get those? Well, you just take your trusty enriched iron alloy, these new basic universal cables that you just got in a nice little crafting recipe here, and you get yourself 8 advanced universal cables. And you might notice that their capacity is 800 RF per tick, which is fan-freaking-tastic. So there we go. Look at this thing. It is almost halfway full. And these things are still producing quite a large amount of RF. This one is completely maxed. I might have to do something about the distribution of power here because, like, this one is constantly going to be producing to both of these cells, whereas, like, if one of these cells goes depleted, it's only going to accept energy from 2 windmills at a time, whereas we have 3. Anyways, the other thing that I wanted to work on today is another part of Mekanism. It is not the 5 times ingot, because you can actually get 5 ingots per 1 ore. It takes a lot of resources and a lot of time and a lot of a massive setup to get 5 times the ingots. However, we are going to use 3 times the ingots today. So that's our goal for this episode, is to get 3 times the ingots. And how do we do that? Well, to be quite simple about it, you need to craft yourself some more steel, which I have left in the furnace down here. So let me just go and get this. You might notice a little bit of a frame drop. I've been having some really bad frame issues. I'm not sure if it's the trees, but the trees have kind of started it. It's all their fault, man. It's all the trees' fault. Anyways, so I smelted myself up some steel ingots because we're going to need some. I think I need more than I have right now for what we're going to be doing. But the first thing that we're going to need is steel casings, and those are created with 4 steel ingots around an osmium ingot. Gets you 1 steel casing. I have enough for another one, and that's on purpose. So there we go. And I actually need 1 more. Anyways, you take this steel casing and you place it in the middle of this recipe here. Oh yeah, you guys already have this recipe, right? Anyways, it is 2 basic control circuits, 4 redstone and 2 iron ingots, and a steel casing will get you something called the enrichment chamber. Boom! Boom! Let's grab 2 just because we're fancy. Oh, we can't stack them. That's not cool. Anyways, cool thing about these things is they, well, they can be upgraded and stuff like that, and that's what you saw with the shift menu there. But basically what they are used for is your average crush ores into dust. So they require power, just like almost everything. I'm just gonna slap him right here, even though we do have quite a lot of stuff for that. And we are going to say, front face, you are going to input power. There we go. So there we go. He has 8,000 RF. There we go. And then all we have to do is get ourselves a little bit of ore and slap it in there, and it should give us some dust. I'm gonna put in... No, that didn't work. Lame. Okay, because I need some gold dust, and I kind of am out of gold. Anyways, I am going to sleep through the night. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is in the sky, we have rested, and I did a little tiny bit of mining. And got myself a little bit of gold. There wasn't very much down there. You'd expect, you know, a ravine that hits right at 12. I think it's like 10. Y level 10 is where it goes. But it's just full, and I do mean full, of gosh darn sulfur. from Railcraft. Oh my gosh, sulfur has to be the most annoying thing ever because it breaks down into 4 pieces, or I think it might be 2. But anyways, it just takes up so much inventory space. It's not very useful. It might be a little bit more useful in the late game, or like mid game at least. It's not time to eat this yet. But it's just not very useful, and it just takes up so much space, and it's the same color as gold, and it gets me excited, and blah blah blah, and rant. And rant. Anyways, we got our gold, so we're gonna slap it in here. I want to show you guys that you can actually process ores with just the enrichment chamber. I thought I heard something. This thing sounds really cool. And there you go. So it's 1 ore per 2 gold dust. And then you just take the gold dust and you just go and smelt it over there. I think you might be able to smelt it in here. I'm not entirely sure. Dare I try? Okay, so that made a liar out of me. Okay, so we are going to take this gold dust and make some stuff with it. But anyways, first of all, we are going to craft ourselves another steel casing. I did that off camera too. And then we are going to slap that in here. We get ourselves the crusher, which requires 2 lava buckets, 2 basic control circuits, 4 redstone, and 1 steel casing. The crusher is used in... Oh, and it doesn't even take all of the buckets. It doesn't even take the buckets. That's cool. So now I got 2 buckets. I got 2 buckets. I got 2. Anyways, so the crusher is going to be used in our 3-tier system, or our tier... I think they call it tier 2? Or tier 1. Anyways, it's going to be giving us some more ores. So basically, you just take the dust that you get and you put it in the crusher, and then the crusher will crush it into dirty dust or something like that, and that will give you a little bit more once you put it into the purification chamber. How do you make the purification chamber, one might ask? Well, you take an enrichment chamber, slap it in this recipe here, and you get yourself a purification chamber. That requires advanced circuits, which require a basic circuit and enriched alloy each. So you need 2 of those. You need 2 osmium ingots, 4 enriched alloy alloys, not circuits. And you get an enrichment chamber, and you have yourself a purification chamber. Now, the only downside to the purification chamber, other than the fact that it is freaking awesome, it requires an additional resource in order to function. So it requires energy, but it also requires something that we haven't got our hands on yet, which is something that we breathe quite a lot. And that is, my dear friends, oxygen. How do you get oxygen, you might ask? Well, you need yourself an electrolytic separator. So have you ever seen in a chemistry textbook or anything like that how you get hydrogen and oxygen from water? Well, yeah, you kind of electrocute the crap out of it, it separates the bonds, and you get yourself hydrogen in one container, oxygen in the other. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's pretty much what we're going to be concerning ourselves with. So how do you make that thing? Well, you are going to require some gold dust, which is kind of why I wanted the enrichment chamber put down first. So you're going to need some gold dust, you're going to need some osmium dust, 2 osmium dust, 1 iron dust, and a bunch of enriched alloys, and you get yourself the electrolytic core. Once you have the electrolytic core, you move on to this recipe over here, slap that right in the middle of it. You get enriched alloy, 2 redstone, 4 iron, and an electrolytic core, and you get yourself an electrolytic separator. Provide this bad boy with some water and some energy, and you get yourself some hydrogen and some oxygen. The oxygen, of course, you will use in the purification chamber. If you so choose, you can use the hydrogen in a, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it is a combustion engine type thing, and it will convert it back into energy for you, and it actually does it at a really, really high rate. It will save you a lot, and I do mean a lot, of energy doing that. However, I like hydrogen, so I'm going to keep the hydrogen. Why? Because the hydrogen can actually be used in something called the Mekanism jetpack. So I'm going to be crafting myself one of those eventually, so I might as well, you know, keep the hydrogen around. So, you know, the jetpack is just like you would expect from any mechanical mod. It basically just allows you to fly. Now you can upgrade the jetpack and mechanism to be armored so that you don't lose any armor when you are flying around. It is also super cheap and easy to refuel. That's why I'm going to go with it instead of something else like, I think, oh, there's a lot of different jetpacks in this mod pack. Holy crap. Yeah, there's a lot. Even a steam jetpack from Flaxbeard Steam Power. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, so we are going to be using that. I'm going to get a couple more things put together, and I'm going to get the area ready to go. Let's just eat this bread, and I shall be right back when we are ready to make ourselves 3 times the ores. Yes! Also, this should not be happening. They should be clipping between, but okay. Anyways, bye. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so I cleared away a space, got some cords ready to go. We have our advanced cables coming all the way down from both of our hardened energy cells up there, so they should be powering our system. I don't know why I have them in there. I think those are artifacts. One moment. Let me just get those back. These are mine. And you can't actually, you know, pickaxe them. I think you lose a little tiny bit of power doing that, but there's not really that big of a problem with losing a little teensy weensy bit of power when you are constantly generating large amounts of power. Anyways, so yeah, just gotta check the sun to make sure I have time to record. So here we go. We need something to produce water, to get water into our system, because we have all of our components. We have the electrolytic separator, we have the purification chamber crusher, and the enrichment chamber. The only thing we need is something to produce water and stick it into this thing here. So what we are going to do is we could always use the pump from Mekanism. I think it's in here. There it is. So you can always use the electric pump, which is actually pretty cheap to make and is quite amazing. However, I haven't really used this yet, and I want to I'll check it out later. But for now, I'm going to use something that is tried and true, and it should work depending on how the input for these things works. So how you do that is we are going to make ourselves an aqueous accumulator, which requires a wooden gear. Whoa, a bit rough around the edges. Anyways, which then gets turned into a stone gear, then it gets turned into a tin gear, and then that goes inside here for the absolutely new machine frame. It used to be gold instead of a tin gear. Now it's a tin gear. I don't know about that. Like, that uses a lot more tin, so I kind of like that because tin is not really used in very many mods. Like, it's used for cans, I think, in industrial craft. And other than that, I don't really use it for like anything ever, really. Anyways, so yeah, you get yourself a machine frame, then we're going to need a pneumatic servo, then we are going to grab ourselves some copper gears. We're going to need 2 of these, I already have one crafted. Afterwards, you just slap these things into a crafting table, like so, and you get yourself an aqueous accumulator, basic. I don't know what the basic stands for, I think it's because it can be upgraded. We're going to slap this thing down here, there we go, it'll start producing some water for us. It's got 2 source blocks. There's one on the inside of here. Oh, it makes a sound. Huh. Anyways, yep, then we are going to take our electrolytic separator. I think I put that the wrong way. Yes, I did. Fantastic. Alright, did we just slap it like this? I think so. Oh, and it looks like the water is going in there. We are producing oxygen. We are producing hydrogen. For those of you that might have failed chemistry or haven't done chemistry yet, it is 2 parts hydrogen for 1 part oxygen for water, because it is H2O. That is correcto mundo. Oh, no, don't dump the oxygen. Oh, okay, so this is for dumping. Ooh, interesting. Okay, and then I think what we do afterwards is we slap down the rest of these guys. We slap down the purification chamber. This should be accepting some oxygen. Yep, there we go. We've got 200 oxygen in there. That is a very small amount. And then we slap down the crusher. Okay, and that is getting energy and everything, so everything is flowing properly. Then we want the enrichment chamber. Alright, and basically what we're going to do is I am going to try this out with our good friend Mr. Tin. That makes a very, very weird sound. So, the purification chamber takes oxygen and a raw ore, and it will produce 3 tin clumps. Now, what this should be doing is I'm going to have to configure these around a little tiny bit. And I think it's because it doesn't have an input, so let's just set this here. What is... okay, we want this for red, so there we go. Dark red. Alright, and this should be blue to dark blue. Yep. Okay, eject on. How do I turn it on? Auto eject? Sorry, I haven't really used this stuff before, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. Is it out of... okay, this is out of oxygen already. It's because of the hydrogen here. So you can just dump the hydrogen and it will start producing oxygen again. I'm just going to dump the hydrogen for now. I know this is wasting a lot of hydrogen, but I just want to test it out. And by the way, I found out what you can use. You use the gas burning engine that will produce it. And yeah. Okay, so the general idea is that the electrolytic separator produces oxygen, puts it in this stuff. This thing produces clumps. These clumps, I'm just going to do this myself for now. And these clumps will go into the crusher. The crusher crushes the clumps. Like it says, that is a very annoying sound. I'm probably going to get myself a sound muffler for this room in particular, because that is annoying. Then you, whatever comes out of this, which is dirty tin dust, goes into the enrichment chamber. The enrichment chamber will take the dirty tin dust and turn it into... tin dust, and then the tin dust will go into some sort of furnace, which we are going to make, which is the energized smelter. I didn't really show you guys that recipe. Whoops. Let's just look it up. Smelter. There we go. So it's basically just a steel casing, 2 of those basic control circuits, 2 glass, and a bunch of redstone. So you just slap this puppy down right here, and it will smelt, not the redstone, it will smelt the tin dust, and that'll smelt it. And then the idea is to get this to eject it into this chest here, and we will have this, the purification chamber, except from this chest right here. Now, don't mind the look of this building right now, because I haven't really gone and done much prettification of it yet. And so I will probably do a lot of that in between episodes. Yeah, so this is basically how it works. I'm going to cut right now, and I am going to try and fix this and make it so that it automatically pushes it through. And I shall be right back after I sleep through the night, because mobs still scare me. Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. I got it working. So, here's the configuration that you're going to have to set. Basically, you just set this to dark red, or like whatever the input is for this thing right here. So you look at this, it's got a dark red outline, so you just go into here, and this is basically where your input is from. You don't actually need this dark blue thing here. That's just how it kind of goes. Anyways, so this is your dark red, and I have it set up here too. So this will actually accept blocks from here. Right now it's full though, and I'm not dumping hydrogen again because I got greedy. Anyways, and this will go through, and if I put these guys in here, they will eventually get processed. Then what it'll do is you want to turn eject on, so you want eject on, and you want the output slot to be this slot right here, which is dark blue. So we have dark blue here. Then what we have over here is I just set this slot right here, not the input slot, but this slot right here to be dark red, and that is where all of the clumps will go. And then we have eject on and output again. So there we go. It actually goes down the line. All of them have the exact same settings. I don't think it really matters about this side, but it does matter about this slot right here. So yeah. Other than that, though, it is working really, really well. We're about to get ourselves our first bit of copper. Oh, yeah. There we go. So this, by the way, this is 8, I think, 8 tin ingots right there, and that is 24 times, that's 3 times, 3 times 8 is 24, so there we go. We are getting 3 times the amount of ores. It is really noisy, though, and I am definitely going to get a sound muffler. Yeah, so that is the episode for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I plan to do something a little bit more outside of Mekanism next time around. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye, bye. I'm also going to get rid of those trees.